Picture this. It's a regular Tuesday afternoon. You're just going about your day and you glance over at your phone. You see 3 missed calls, 14 text messages, and a handful of notifications. But your phone didn't make a single sound, and it didn't vibrate even once. In fact, you can't even remember the last time your phone actually rang out loud. You live your entire life with that little half-moon icon locked on your screen. Most people assume you're just ignoring them or that you're terrible at communicating, or maybe you're just playing hard to get. Yeah, that's not what people think. That's a highly tuned defense mechanism built for modern survival. If that sounds like you or someone you know, you're about to feel very understood. Today, we're talking about the psychology behind keeping your phone on Do Not Disturb or completely silent 24/7. This matters right now more than ever because we live in a culture that demands constant, instant access to your attention. You're about to discover the hidden reasons why your brain craves this digital silence and what it actually says about your personality, your boundaries, and how you process the world around you. The first layer to this is about protecting your cognitive load. Think about a time when you were trying to focus on something important and suddenly your phone buzzes. Even if you don't check it, your brain has officially been hijacked. In psychology, there's a concept known as the cost of task switching. Every time your attention is pulled away, your brain has to expend energy to figure out the distraction, decide whether to engage, and try to get back to what you were doing. Translation, every single ping drains a tiny bit of your mental battery until you are left completely exhausted. Research published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that simply hearing your phone buzz ruins your concentration just as much as actually taking a phone call. And if that sounds familiar, that's not a flaw. That's your mind doing exactly what it learned to do. You didn't break the communication loop, you just took back the remote control. Now, here's something that might actually surprise you. Keeping your phone on Do Not Disturb is a huge indicator of highly sensitive processing. Think about a time when you walked into a busy room and instantly felt overwhelmed by the lights and overlapping conversations. Now, imagine carrying a tiny, vibrating version of that busy room in your pocket all day long. In psychology, there's a recognized trait called sensory processing sensitivity, often discussed by researcher Dr. Elaine Aron. People with this trait process stimuli more deeply and get overstimulated far more quickly. Translation, your brain literally absorbs more data from a single ringtone than an average brain does, making it feel like a physical jolt. Research published in the journal Brain and Behavior found that highly sensitive people have stronger activation in brain regions involved in awareness, meaning they literally cannot ignore sudden stimuli. And if that sounds familiar, that's not a flaw. That's your mind doing exactly what it learned to do. You didn't break the communication loop, you just took back the remote control. Now, let's be honest, sometimes perpetual silence is actually a symptom of chronic avoidance. Picture this, you see a name pop up on your screen, and instead of just looking at the message, you flip the phone face down, walk into another room, and pretend it doesn't exist. This links directly to attachment theory and avoidant coping mechanisms. When the pressure of relationships feels like too much, creating a digital wall gives you a false sense of safety. Translation, you're using Do Not Disturb to run away from difficult emotions and uncomfortable conversations. Research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that avoidant attachment styles frequently use technology withdrawal to create emotional distance from their friends and partners. And if that sounds familiar, that's not a flaw. That's your mind doing exactly what it learned to do. The quiet might feel safe, but sometimes it's just a very lonely hiding spot. And here's something kind of beautiful that comes out of all of this. It makes your actual connections so much more intentional. Picture this, you finally sit down at the end of a long day, you open your messages, and you consciously choose who to reply to. You aren't just firing off emojis while standing in line at the grocery store. Psychologists refer to this as mindful engagement versus compulsive connectivity. When you remove the immediate trigger, your responses shift from being mere reflexes to thoughtful interactions. Translation, because you don't reply immediately to everything, the replies you do send actually have meaning and depth. Research published in the journal Cyberpsychology, Behavior, and Social Networking found that mindful smartphone use is strongly associated with better emotional regulation and deeper relationship satisfaction. And if that sounds familiar, that's not a flaw. That's your mind doing exactly what it learned to do. You aren't ignoring people, you're waiting until you have the energy to give them the real you. When you put all of this together, a completely different picture starts to emerge. People who keep their phone on silent aren't aloof, disconnected, or uncaring. They're fiercely protective of their peace in a world that profits off their panic. A permanently silenced phone doesn't mean you don't care about the people in your life. It means you understand the fragile nature of your own attention. The most deeply grounded people you'll ever meet are usually the ones who had to learn how to aggressively protect their inner quiet first. They had to learn the hard way that if you don't fiercely guard your energy, the world will take it all and still ask for more. So the next time you meet someone who leaves their phone on silent 24/7, just know they've earned that. If this hit home for you, please subscribe. It genuinely helps this channel grow. And if you want to go even deeper into the psychology most people never talk about, hit that join button to become a channel member. I want to ask you something. How long has your phone been on silent? And what made you finally turn the ringer off? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're ready for the next one, the next video is going to hit you even harder than this one. Click it. You'll see why.